I'm sure you've seen these before. These are the little white tinsel stars from the Dollar Tree. Not a fan of the tinsels, but I thought maybe we can make them look like mossy stars and make them look really pretty, more high end for the 4th of July. So I was wanting to paint them green first because I'm going to leave the tinsel on there because I want to cover them with moss, but I kind of want to try to get as close as I can to the color of moss with green paint, and I had nothing. So I mixed like 3 or 4 different colors of green together until I got a fairly close color. This is basically going to serve as the backdrop to the moss that we're going to attach to this to make this look like a mossy star. So I went over the front and the back with the green paint. And I'm using like a sponge brush from Dollar Tree, kind of just pushing it down into the tinsel. I don't have to have perfect coverage on this, but I did want this to look nice and green. And I think I painted myself green as well on this DIY. And so I did the same thing with the second one. We have 2 green tinsel. Now, you know, they look kind of cute, but they kind of look like that cheap green tinsel like for Christmas trees. I want them to look more high-end. I want them to look mossy. So I am using some of the green reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. And I am just hot gluing that onto the front of our little tinsel star. You know, like just a section at a time, trying to be careful and not to burn myself. A lot of you guys asked where I get those little pink protectors for hot glue for my fingers. And of course, I get those at Dollar Tree. And so just trying to fill that in because I think that the moss looks way better than the green tinsel. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing all around the edges as well, where you might be able to see it. And the hot glue does kind of melt the tinsel a little bit, but if you act quickly, you shouldn't have any problems. Now, it does get a little wild looking when you're gluing that moss to it, so you're probably going to have to trim it up in the end just to give it that star shape back. And I'm just trying to cover it as much as I can with the moss. It's okay if some of the green tinsel shows from behind. It's just going to kind of hopefully look like another color of moss. So that's how it looks. I go ahead and do the same exact thing with the other star. So we have 2 little mossy stars. Now, I thought they were cute as is, but I thought I could make them look even cuter by adding some wood stars to the front. So these are those wood stars that I got at Dollar General, but again, you can get these pretty much anywhere. And I'm just going to stain mine with some Antique Wax by Waverly to give me like kind of a warm wood look. And I thought attaching that to the front of the mossy stars was going to look really cute. Now, I could notice that you could still see the sides of these when I stained them. So I do go in and stain the sides as well to make it look more finished. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here with the second star. I'm really glad that I added the wood to the front. I think it made them look really cute and very unique little patriotic DIYs. This is kind of if you want to use some more non-traditional, like neutral colors for your patriotic decor. These are going to fit in really well. And I think those wood stars are just the right size to fit right there on top. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to attach them with some hot glue right in the center. And these are like, you know, chunky stars. They're going to be big enough to stand up on their own for your patriotic decor. And there they are. I glued the little wood stars to the front of each one of my little mossy stars. And if you find that you have any hot glue that's still visible from gluing on all that moss, you can always clean yours up a little bit with a heat gun, which is what I'm doing there. And this is how they turned out. Our little mossy stars with little stained wood stars on the front. I think these are super whimsical. I think it looks a lot better than if you just paint it green for sure, because that really had that green tinsely tree look